I don't want to pick one team, but if I had to pick two teams that I'd like to see in a final, that'll be Virtus.Pro and North. I think will deliver.
I'm sure it very much will, Pimp. Looks like we're about to jump into our first map of the ESL Pro Tour here at Open Leipzig.
And it seems like they want to end on this A bomb side.
Only Buster's here, but he's playing more contact. He can pass away from the site, give this one up, call to the rest of his team. They haven't completely bit down on this, though. They haven't rotated any players across. They themselves have some utility, an incendiary smoke, flash, and a kit. So retake's not going to be out of the question here, Pim, but it does seem like we're going to start to see that B hit come into fruition. They're going to realize the site's pretty much open, but Buster through the smoke into the head of Sirsen. What a start to the round for VP.
Yeah, that's going to make this retake a little bit easier. That's a good grenade from Titian, though. He's no armor right here, though, so it's going to be tough for him. He needs to hit the first bullet. He can't do that. James takes him down, and now this retake looks much more likely to happen. There's still a Molotov on Sanji as well.
This is where you're wanting that incendiary to be tossed down into one of these back corners. Lots of damage inflicted to VP, but Kicker does come out ahead of Zantares, leaving Tabson and Keto remaining. As you highlighted, Tabson, one of the most skilled players, but there's not much he can do when a bullet's put in the back of his head. And VP with a flawless retake, don't lose a single player.
No, that was a little bit disappointing for Big Clan, right? They got that bomb side 78 HP. That must be a grenade or something, but they also have two Famasters, right? And they also have Stirson taking down James. That's a great start, taking down the star AWPer from Virtus.Pro. Exactly what Big needed.
Yeah, great start. Again, a solid buy has been implemented.
I wonder how Buster lost 22 HP.
I think he got a love tap from a teammate's knife.
Yeah,
I think he got a left click at spawn. It was very early in the round.
You see that a lot in matchmaking, don't you?
Yeah. It always happens. You play Face It, you expect the team damage to be off, and then suddenly I've just right-clicked a mate and I've been kicked. Oh, lovely.
Well, Share not mad at humans.
You can also see the impact that has early on for VP in the sense of their rotation. They've actually drawn Adren away, so B site's open, and they don't actually have any nades on Buster, so that's the importance of that early pick, as you highlighted.
Surely is. It's going to be all to defend this bomb site. He's going to have this duel. He's going to be taken down by Taps, and that's going to be it. This should be that round done and dusted. As you can see in the minimap right now, none of the Virtus.Pro players are rushing over to this A bomb side. There's nothing they can do about it. That's it, right? As you said, they get the opening pick on James. They slowly but surely take banana control. They play around with the rotation of the Virtus.Pro players.
You know you're only one loss away from being right back into the dumps again. Hence the early save. Inferno is one of those maps as well, though, Meron, so when you have 3 players left in low economy, it just makes sense to pull the plug.
Yeah, it was the right play by Virtus.Pro. As soon as Adrian died on the A-bomb side, there was nothing to do, right? They knew that from the get-go. Adrian wasn't able to get this. We know that's not always as reliable as an M4.
Less bullets, but he does have Buster watching his back, and his Molotov, an island of fire they have to walk over. And all their feet have been burned. It's looking ominous at best for Big. Beautiful flashbang, perfectly timed in Jame on the rotation. Finds a Tizian out in the open. Easy pickings in the end, and Sirsen can only really watch and try and save the AWP. So VP, hot off the back of having a bit of a rough round in 3.
Big mistake coming in from Big Clan here. The fact that they got banana control that early in the round. VP didn't use any utility. They didn't, in a scenario like this, they must have known that they were running into a fire.
Well, the young blood of Keto is first in, but he's not going to get the first kill. Flashbang in the eyes of Buster, who is yet to die. May very well have his fortunes turned if they push behind this, but they're going to decide against it, which is maybe for the best. 3 players from VP now occupy over on the B side, leaving just Kicker on his lonesome with the SG in middle. This is typically the side they've Molotoved and smoked on arches. They're going to do it again, so he can't see anything. And he's just hoping for the best at this stage. Again, I think they're going to go for a gamble here, though, Pimp. If they obviously lose A, they just try and save on the B side with these 3 players, but they are moving over Jame.
Yeah, it's kind of in between right now, the gambling on both horses, so to speak, and it's going to be up to Kicker here. If he can get 1 or 2 kills, there's a chance. He lines up the first one, not able to connect the second one. There we go, another kill from Kicker, and he stays alive now, so the rotation is coming in from Virtus.Pro. This is not looking good for Big. That's good, though. Tapson takes down, sorry, Chantaris takes down 2 guys. James through the smoke as well. A little bit lucky, and there we go. As soon as they were starting to look scary for Big Clan.
For a reason. The guy would just flick it on and everyone would fall in his wake. So yeah, if he wakes up, VP are in trouble.
Let me put it this way. There's a lot of good players out there. There's a lot of players who have a great skill set. A lot of players who can play on certain teams. But there's a very few players who get me excited when I watch them play. And Shantaris is one of them. This is just beautiful, right? And we know, as you said, Pro as well, look how far back they're sitting. They're sitting back on A bomb side. They're sitting back on B bomb side. They're not really taking any duels. They obviously know that the utility they have right now is not good. And there we go. Citizen with Impact getting the first kill. Buster responds back. But this could be it, right? They can get this bomb side now almost for free. Buster is forced into ruin. Big Clan seems like once again they make the right read. Question is, can they execute on it? We need to smoke CT spawn here, Vince. You don't like that, do you?
They don't have one either. And the bomb has crossed, but he's by himself. 30 seconds left. Flashbang's being tossed in. Buster is watching on the side. This is a 4v4, but it's looking like it's going to go the CT's way. They still can't cross. Finally, Keto, though, does connect and domes Kicker out the round with an AWP. That could be the deciding moment. Tizian now swings in for 2. The bomb's still yet to be planted. Buster's here. His HP is high enough to really go for this as well. He might catch them in rotation, in transition. He gives his position away, and they nearly line up for him. But Big are going to win the round with 5 seconds to spare. Allows Jane to focus his attention onto the quad side. Oh, we feel like Sanji's going to be a huge part of this round if VP are going to pull it off. The smoke to library really messed with them. And now they're going to try a wraparound, but there's no player in Banana to pivot off. They're all going to be stuck in a claustrophobic angle of Speedway. But tabseN does come out ahead. 17 seconds to go. Do they check the angle? They do, but Adren's still to line them up.
Oh my God.
The third. That's the round going to VP, unless a miracle happens in 7 seconds. But the Molotov is going to stop them from getting the bomb anyway. What a nightmare.
What a nightmare. That was a very well-executed wine by Big Clan.
Not a small thing at all, but Buster has taken the head off Thurston, and then tabseN peeks instantly afterwards, just before the smoke plumes. 2 free frags for VP.
Once again, the SG prevails. It's something that's been up in the discussion now. We're going to see that as much this year as we saw it last year, given the price going up in the SG, but it seems like that's still the favorite gun. And a nice flash coming in here from Kickert. Sanji able to pick up that kill on Tizian relatively easy, and this round is going the way of Virtus.Pro. There's no need to take any risk. James knows that. He falls back. Now it's up to the individual players of Big to see if they can fight back, and I think they decide to save this one. Bring in the guns to the next round. You can see in the economy, Searson is sitting on $6,700, so there's money for the Big Clan to buy into next round if they're able to save these 2 guns. So once again, making the right call, but just to move back to the point I was talking about before, we saw the SG being a very dominant gun, you know, in the early stages of 19 and in the middle of the season, but kind of faded out at the end, but it seems like it's been picked up again, right? The price going up in the SG is not going to make that gun less effective.
They have sent 2 lambs potentially to the slaughter to find out the information about the gun. Protruding around the corner, Centaurus, that second shot must have been so slick. He must have spun to library instantly afterwards. I love to see that again. James and Sanji, in the meanwhile, though, they have pieced out. They want no further part of this round. They have an AWP and an M4. It's James time, well and truly.
We didn't get to see that second kill, but that must have been slick.
That was the moment. If they both go down without much of a fight and just go with the whimper, the retake is well and truly on. I think we're about to see it here. So yeah, first kill into Arch, flicks across to the head of Buster. No scope required.
They mess around the rotations. It's more like Virtus.Pro. They're playing their own game. They're gambling, stacking and gambling a lot of the rounds. So it's still them sticking to their own game plan. But Big is really giving a so to speak, big opportunity here to mess around with it for Virtus.Pro. We see it again, 34 seconds left. It's going to be a hit towards this B-bomb side, and the 8-1 picking up another kill through the smokes. That's going to be vital.
He knows he can just cut off that angle. Even if he doesn't get kills, it's going to be hefty damage. They know it's going to be the push now. Sanji with 1. 2 kills have came back instantly, though, from Big. That's keeping the dream alive. They have the bomb on the site. It will get planted momentarily. So even though they took their sweet time and they took casualties on the approach, they still have the slight advantage now on the retake, especially as James and Adren are both tagged down. Just a Molotov and a smoke to play with a couple of flashbangs. Positions are solid on Big. 2 centrally on the site. Now all 3 players are tagged. We are getting towards the dying embers of this half, though. The VP may feel compelled to go for this, but no. They back out, they tap out, and Big will have a 7-5 lead.
think that's the correct decision by Virtus.Pro to tap out of that one. There's no way you're getting into that bomb site. You saw there was still a lot of utility on Citizen. He had a Molotov, he had a flash still left here. He goes down to the bomb. Not that that's gonna matter anyway, but that Big is just gonna run away with it. You know, a 10-5 half or even a 9-6 half, that's a great result for the somewhat German squad here.
No doubt. Especially after, remember, they lost the first pistol. They lost the first round. It was 2-0. Tabson, though, he is going to switch up the pace. And he's going to get the rewards onto Sanji. Quicker, though, does get the kill through the box, but he's going to be silenced instantly afterwards. As Antares does get the avenging frag. There's a slight gap in the smoke. I was about to say it may catch Big off guard, but nope, Tiziad drills Buster in the head with his AK. And we're off for another save.
They're just sitting back. They're not doing anything. They're playing way too defensively for my taste right now. They need to do something. We need to see the guy on the screen right here have an impact with the AWP. He's sitting at 4 kills for surprises, so to speak. There's only one adaptation, and that's to be more aggressive. And I think we're going to see that from James right here, right now, towards Banana. There we go.
He's going to be flashing himself out. He's been tagged, he's been fragged, and it's just gone the same way. Oh, Keto. Straight through 2 AK-47 headshots. That's the round pretty much wrapped up in a neat little ribbon. Unless VP have a hero in a Dren, Sanji, or Kicker. Their economy, again, doesn't really afford them the chance to go for this. And Dren spams up through the smoke. Does take down Tabson. But it's a consolation frag. It doesn't really make a difference to how this round is going.
So they send up Keto, he got the job done, and there we go, another round for the German squad. They're playing well right now. They can even afford to go hunting here. Doesn't matter whether they die or not. They have all the 3 guys in this bomb site. Is it enough?
Sanji wants to take first point of contact, but Tabson and Searson are cleaning house. VP, even with the stack, Pimp, you were highlighting it, you were setting up the play perfectly, and they still get wrecked.
Still get wrecked. Still get wrecked, you know, that's the utility, right? Big didn't spend any Molotovs at all to take the banana control. They didn't spend any flashes, any grenades, any flashes for that matter, you know. It was too easy, so when they do the execute on the bomb site, they have all the Molotovs, they have all the flashes, all the smokes at hand, and they were simply just one by one forcing out the Virtus.Pro players. That's what happens when you play a little bit too scared and a little bit laid back. James, even with a nice kill here, is not able to do anything about this. Looks a little bit chaotic here, but he's going to go down eventually, and that's going to be first half done and dusted. There's nothing he can do about the outcome. Maybe get a consolidation before I can... Or get a knife in the back. Either way, there we go. Tishian doing him dirty, and I love it a lot. From Virtus.Pro is walking up here. How's this going to pan out, Vince?
P250 can maybe rip and shred through a couple of players, but it's just the flashbang that's going to afford one. Tabson now next up to the plate, and you expect him to get the 3rd kill, a player of his caliber and skill level, but they peek out one too many times looking for the upgraded USP, and it cost him his life.
That's it. 3 versus 2 now for Big Clan. Good position. Tishian still aggressive towards Banana. If he goes down and he does to James, that's going to be it, right? The bomb site is open. Virtus.Pro doesn't know that though, and they're not willing to act on it. Slowing it down, making sure the smokes comes in. Looks like they want to head up to this bomb site, but yeah, CT spawn is still open. That's Shantaris. We know how deadly he can be with a pistol. Smoke goes down. That's going to make it a tiny bit harder for him. And we're into a 2 versus 2, and this is always a gamble, right? It can always go both ways at this point. Shantaris is not able to find any gaps through the smoke. Question is he going to act on this one? Is he going to walk through it as soon as he hits the bomb plant? Or is he going to wait on his teammate? Looks like it's going to be the second option here.
Yeah, especially with that smoke going down. Can't really afford to do too much. It would be an audacious play if he decided to push through there, but now Searson has joined him. The backup has arrived. No kits between the two of them, no grenades to play off either. And James just the other side of the smoke. Antares gets totally surprised by that, and then James goes into Searson, so...
We need to see that utilized as well. 27 seconds here. Looks like that's going to be a B-go. Tishian and Pit though. How much damage can he do?
And the smoke's being funneled down with a Molotov as well. It's going to force him out into the open. And that smoke stops anyone else from helping him out. There's a team kill in amongst the frenzy. James splatters Kicker. 8 seconds to go. The bomb's in an awkward spot. It's going to take them a little bit longer to get the bomb planted now. That gets the CTs that little bit closer in arches to try and pivot off for a retake. Damage inflicted to James as he catches his 3 off round. Flashbang perfectly timed. Dren gets hit by it. Has to switch to his Deagle. The heroics, the last stand isn't quite big enough. And now James on 6 HP. He is going to be knocked down. They had no kit, but they do have time.
For Big Clan, they can just sit back, relax, and be ready for this hit. That's a good name. That's good spam as well. We saw Aikman do that in the first half as well. Now Shantaras follows it up with a Molotov as well. This is going to be tough for Virtus.Pro. Very, very tough.
Exactly. They know it's going to be an A play now, so they can afford to go for these plays. Spanning up through smoke, showing their hand, tossing their nades, and they've done a very good job of managing their grenades. They still have an incendiary left and a flashbang. Adren now going to be moving through. 8 seconds to go. He's going to try and get the bomb planted in the smoke. And he does successfully get it down. Kicker, in the meanwhile, runs out of ammunition, has to switch to his Glock, but the smoke is going to offer him sanctuary to replenish that mag. And Adren comes back in with more. tabseN saving the life of his teammates on the site for a little bit longer, and then chips in for a second and a third, and it's another successful retake. VP are getting so close. Credit and props too that they haven't really peaked on their CT side. You see CSGO playing aggressively, but then he backs away instantly afterwards. So James hasn't had many opportunities. That being said, though, here comes the aggressive play we're looking for. And tabseN instantly chips in with a headshot, and that's going to slow things down. There's Molotovs. They're burning alive on the approach. It is going to be another very difficult take, but James has made it maybe a little bit more possible. k1to through the smoke, gets himself another one. He's up to 2 frags for the round, and now James in a 1v4. In the smoke, the Browner gun not going to betray him, but k1to triples up on Pool, 13-8. Time again, though, is starting to dwindle away, but they are setting up. Once that smoke clears in apps, they may go for a waterfall. Flashbang out, and here comes an army of terrorists and his kicker. That's going to get the first, but tabseN and Centaurez have been left completely untouched, and tabseN and Centaurez going to pick up a full house of frags, and they have just made...
He's arguably the best player from Germany. He has the potential to be one of the best players in the world. And he's showcasing that right now. And Tico coming in from Virtus.Pro here. Shantaras getting a nice double frag. CSGO as well with the AWP. There's nothing Virtus.Pro can do about this. It's going to be 15-8. It's going to be match point for Big Clan. And at this point, Vince, what do you do if you're Virtus.Pro?
I wish I had the answers, Pim. I really do. I feel like...
thought you were a free-time coach as well, you know, spare time coach, yeah?
Strangely enough, no.
No?
That'll be a huge surprise to
That's
many.
my mistake, man. Sorry.
And rip 7 match points on the side of Big.
Some demo watching he can do and maybe change up that play going on further to the tournament if Virtus.Pro decides to play in the tournament once again. Now coming in with the last push of the game, tabseN and k1to shuts them down. That's it, Vince. That's it.
Yeah, that surely has to be the final nail being put into the coffin. tabseN has been boosted up. k1to's gone down. The SG now ripping through the smoke. Nearly claims his second frag. And now Centaurez stands tall. James last man standing not for much longer. And Big in cruise control. Take it 16-8.
What a game that was from Big Clan. I think they can be very proud of this.